This guitar has a load of tricks up its sleeve, but it is hiding some pretty insane specs too. In today's video, we are looking at the Enya Nova Go Sonic and seeing exactly what it is all about. Welcome to the BudgetPedalChap channel. I am Budge, and today we are looking at this guitar by Enya Guitars. A couple of months ago, Enya approached me and asked me if I wanted to try out this guitar. And after seeing it featured on the Steve Cassidy channel, I was curious. Now, I alluded to the fact that this has a few little tricks up its sleeve, but we'll get onto that a little bit later. First up, let's hear how it sounds. Now, those eagle-eyed of you might have noticed this little grate on the back of the guitar. That is, of course, home to the inbuilt speaker. So yes, the smaller, thinner body and the inbuilt speaker on this one make this the ideal travel companion. Not only has this one got an inbuilt speaker, it has also got some inbuilt effects too. If you're anything like me, you would have seen a little speaker built into a guitar and thought this is going to sound really underwhelming. However, I think you can agree it actually sounds pretty good. Granted, it's not going to win any awards for its sound quality, but is it comparable with something like the Black Star Fly 3 or the Boss Katana Mini? I would say that is probably fair to say. Also much more convenient to carry this than a guitar, an amp and a cable if you are travelling. So as a travel rig, it is really convenient. It also comes with a well-fitted gig bag too. So all of these features are pointing towards a portable travel option. If we take a look at the guitar itself for a moment, the hardware is serviceable, but not really fancy. You aren't getting any fancy locking tuners on this one, and the bridge is just a bog standard Tunematic. All in all, the hardware does the job, but that's about it. The pickups, however, are not the cheapest options out there. There are an Alnico 2 and an Alnico 5 in this. Both of these pickups seem quite reasonably balanced, and they suit the guitar really well. Realistically, they are probably on par with the Harley Benton Roswell pickups. However, I am not a humbucker guy, so it is really hard to tell. Your mileage may vary. Let me know what you think of the pickups in the comments below. I did hint a little bit earlier that some of the specs on this guitar are not what you would expect, and this does not disappoint. What if I were to tell you that this guitar is made out of carbon fibre? Now, there are two instances of guitars using carbon fibre that I can think of. VGA guitars have a 90-10 system with their necks. This is essentially where they have a carbon fibre rod running down the length of the neck, a bit like a skunk stripe. This is because carbon fibre is a very stiff material and it strengthens the neck. Parker guitars are the second example that I know of this. They also have the carbon fibre rod running down the length of their neck, but they also further strengthen their guitars with a fiberglass shell. The running theme here is that both companies use carbon fibre to strengthen their necks and make them even more sturdy. Now, Enya guitars are saying that these are fully made of carbon fibre. Now, if my logic tracks here, that means that this guitar will be incredibly sturdy through any temperature changes. I will preface this though, I am no scientist and by no means an expert on guitar materials. What I can say for certain though, is that when I got this out of the box, the action and the setup was really low. So maybe that suggests that it withstood some temperature changes in shipping. Who knows? It's not all positives though, there are some drawbacks of having the carbon fibre. One thing that I have noticed on this is that the paint chips really easily. I've had this thing for a little over a month now and I've already managed to put a few dings in the paintwork. Now, I'm not the most careful with my guitars, but in the time that I've had this does seem a little excessive. I did insist on Enya sending me one of the more colourful models, so if you go for the white or black option, this may not be an issue. One final drawback on this guitar, and it might be a deal breaker for some, is the nut. Now, this guitar does have a 0 fret, so the nut may not play as an important part as it does on some other guitars. However, the nut does seem to be moulded from the same material as the body, so it is actually part of the carbon fibre structure. The nut on a guitar is kind of considered a semi-perishable part. You would expect to have to switch it out after some considerable playing. If anything were to happen to this nut, however, it would be a much trickier job replacing it. That being said, it does look like it is made out of carbon fibre, so it might be a much harder wearing material than standard nuts. Again, I am not a scientist, nor am I a guitar luthier expert, so make up your own opinions on this one. I thought that this was an important point to make you aware of before committing to this guitar. These guitars retail for about £430 to £480 depending on the finish, and they come in some amazing finishes too. I've mentioned that these guitars are ideal travel companions, but also they could be a really good solution to busking musicians too. There's nothing to say that this couldn't be your main gigging instrument, but with only one volume control and no tone control, it makes this a little bit lacking in functionality. With its slightly smaller body and feeling a lot lighter than a normal guitar, it kind of has that feel of a travel guitar, if you get what I mean. If strapping on a guitar for long periods of time is a problem for you and you suffer from back problems, this is actually quite a light instrument, so it might be an alternative for you too. I've got to extend a massive thank you to Enya Guitars for sending this one out for me to try. If you're interested, I'm going to leave some details in the description below, so check one out for yourself. Every guitarist needs a dual humbucker guitar, but you definitely need to get some single coils in your life as well. Showing on screen now is a video for the Fazley Sunset, which is a sub £100 T-type guitar. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again on the next one.